Hello everyone, today I'm going to be showing you how I made this Iron Man Mark 1 helmet in a basement with a box full of scraps. Also for this build, I am experimenting with a new style of video which will be less detailed but a lot shorter, as opposed to my old ones which were more detailed but very lengthy. Let me know how you guys like this in the comments, assuming that YouTube doesn't disable it, and tell me, should I keep doing these types of videos or just go back to what I was doing before? Let me know what you think. Now, on with the video. Here I have this nice big piece of cardboard that I cut out that I will be using as the main faceplate. You can see now I have the mouth and eyes, and now I gotta work on the rest of the faceplate. I have these notches cut out here, and that's pretty much it for this part of the faceplate. Now I gotta work on the part that would go on my head, like the dome-ish part. So I finished this side of the dome, and now all I gotta do for the front half of the helmet is add some details to the eye. Now I have these two pieces cut out, and basically what I'm gonna do with these is I'm going to glue them to the inside of the helmet, right on the eyes, to add just a nice level of depth to the eyes. So here is what the eyes look like with pieces attached. As you can see, I just glued them to the back, and now it just looks more interesting. I have this big piece of cardboard that I cut up to match the size. You can see here that I cut it up a bit too much and I had to glue it back. Now it's the right size and I can get to work on the details. For the back, there isn't that much detail, so yeah, this is pretty much it, I guess. It's like a little angle cut out the bottom half. And this part is a little curved as well now. Now I gotta work on this half of the dome. So my original idea was to make the two halves separately and then attach them in the end. But then I realized that's probably not a good idea. So what I'm gonna do now is I'm going to create the other half of the dome onto this part. So it's gonna be like a whole dome over here. And then I'll attach the back to the dome. And then I'll cut it in half. So I have two pieces that will fit perfectly together. So now I have the two halves glued together, and now I'm going to cut it along this seam here to make two halves that fit perfectly. So now I have these two halves cut up, and as for the hinge that goes on top of the helmet, I have this piece of cardboard that I put a wooden skewer on and then glued it around the wooden skewer so it looks like a hinge. And I'm going to be putting this on top of the helmet. But before I can glue the hinge onto the helmet, there's something I need to do. I'm going to paper mache this whole thing, so it's nice and smooth. It just makes it even more sturdy. And I'm going to add the weld marks with hot glue, and I will add this, then spray paint it all. I paper mache'd both parts, and I'm also going to spackle it just to make it extra smooth. I have this whole helmet spackled and sanded down, and I'm going to prime it. So the original plan was to just add the weld lines and the hinge right now, but the thing is hot glue doesn't stick to spackle, so my new plan is to prime this, paint it, then add the weld lines and the hinge, then paint it again, go over with another coat of paint. So I will see you when I do that. I primed everything, and now it's time to paint it. I painted both of them in some dark steel spray paint, and now I gotta add the weld lines and the hinge. Alright, so the painting is done, but I realized that this part, it wobbles a lot, so I'm going to need to find out a way to hold these two pieces in place, but they need to be able to detach pretty easily when I want them to. I do have some ideas, with one of them being these Lego clip pieces. I might just go with these, but I'm going to see if I can come up with better ideas. I did end up just using the Lego clip pieces, but I think they did their job pretty well. They can detach pretty easily, and they attach pretty well as well, and when they are attached, it holds the helmet together pretty nicely. So the last thing I have to do to this helmet is weather it, and it will be complete. Alright, so I just finished weathering it. All I did was I took some black paint, mixed it with a lot of water, brushed it all over the place. I made sure to brush a lot of it onto the weld lines to make them look extra weathered, and then I wiped it off using a piece of cloth. And I also did that on the back. Yeah, I also did the same thing, but instead of black, I did brown paint to make it look more rusty. As you can see, it doesn't really show that much, but in real life, it does show. So I'm quite happy with how this turned out. Okay, I applied some more brown paint now that it's more visible, and I really like how it looks. It's a lot more rusty now, and I'd say it looks more accurate to the movie. Alright, so I made some final changes to the helmet, like adding just a little bit more weathering and making the weld lines at the top a bit thicker. And that is pretty much it. As for the opening and closing mechanism, I think it works pretty well. I quite like how it turned out. Let me show you. So I can open it pretty easily, no problem, and close it right back, and that is pretty easy as well. And when it's closed, it has just enough grip that it doesn't fall off when you shake it, but it's not gripped on too strong, so I can, like I said, open it without any problems. So yeah, the only downside I'd say is the hinge at the top being a little too weak, but that's okay because I won't be like opening and closing it very roughly. So yeah, I really like how this turned out. Alright, so that is it for this video. I really hope you enjoyed, and I will see you all next time. Bye bye!